Good afternoon, Ashley. My name is Cristobal Jr., student physical therapist assistant. Just confirm before we do get started with today, can I get your full name and date of birth?
Ashley Fisher, 5/25/98.
Perfect. So you are the patient on the plan of care set by Dr. Matt. Looks like today I am going to be educating you on this thingy.
What is it?
Intellect NMES. You might be prescribed this if we don't have any precautions and contraindications. For precautions, by chance, do you have any impaired cognitions, sensations, any cardiac issues? And then for contraindications, have you been cleared by your doctor that you don't have a pacemaker? You aren't currently pregnant, and then we don't have any conditions that we're going to be treating this over the eyes, your neck, over your chest, and gonads by chance.
No.
Perfect. So you are a perfect candidate for the Intellect NMES. So I'll go ahead, wash my hands, and now I'll go ahead and get started with showing you this and setting it up. Well, what's your pain level today?
Like 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. And it's based on treatment area we're looking at. It's your quad. Which quad was it again that was having the issue?
My left.
Left quad?
Yeah.
So 4 out of 10 on that left quad. Sounds good. So we'll go ahead and get started with addressing that. So this was prescribed by your physical therapist of the Intellect NMES, and pretty much what I'm going to be doing is running it down, how to set it up, because this is a home unit that you'll be able to utilize at home when you're outside the clinic. So we can go ahead and get that quad rehabilitated, so you can get your knee extension feeling a lot less pain. So
yeah, I can barely do it.
Not too much. Yeah, this will help a lot. Obviously, like you were able to straighten out, but I can tell there's like some wincing pain going on. We'll go ahead and address it like that. So let's go get started. Show you right here. So here's the case that we're keeping the stuff in. You gotta open it like this. And this is yours. Everything right here is gonna be yours.
It's all mine?
All yours, yeah. Sure. Anyways, here's this. This is gonna be our electropads. The important part of these electropads is that they're reusable. However, they do get ineffective over time, especially when they're kept in high heat, especially like if you just leave it in your car. Best thing to do is throw this in your fridge where it's nice and cool, and then it'll be able to stick on your skin much, much easier.
Okay.
So this will be part of the pack. We'll keep that to the side. This is a little sheet that I went ahead, wrote down for you, pretty much going over all the stuff we're going to go over today, about like intensity knobs, contractions, etc., etc. We'll run it down in the little device for you, and then you can go ahead and reference this where it'll be easier to understand once we get to once you go home, in case you forget things.
Okay.
So I'll keep that to the side for you. Here's electric pads or electric wires that connect to electric wires. Alcohol prep pad, I'll give you more of these. This is to go ahead and wipe down the area that we're going to go ahead and treat, because we don't want any sweat, dirt, debris, just anything.
Lotion on.
It's going to clear out that lotion with this alcohol prep pad. We just want to be able to stick on, and then also be pretty much clear for electric currents to be sent more strongly, because lotion might interfere with it. And then obviously battery and device. So you're going to be able to play with the device today. I'm going to run it through with you.
Okay.
So primarily what we would do and start is lift up this lid if you can. Just pulling up. Perfect, just like that. This is where we would put the battery in there. Right now, let's go ahead and not have it on, because we can explain the information. But once we go ahead and show you the treatment in clinic, we'll go ahead and plug that in.
Okay.
So we'll start from top to bottom into the middle. So the very, very top part right here, this lid, once you lift that up, perfect. This is all going to be your on-off switch. So once you go ahead and twist it for me, twist one of the knobs up here.
Yes.
You heard that audible click?
I did.
That's going to be the on. And then once you go ahead and twist it off, just the opposite way. There's a click that shows it's off. Once the battery is going to be placed in there, there's going to be a light that's green over here. That's going to indicate that's on. Obviously, the battery's out, so we're not seeing anything. That's your on-off knob, and this is also your intensity knob. Intensity is going to be dependent on varying from patient to patient. For you, we're going to go ahead and see what's the most viable intensity for you to feel muscle contractions based on this unit, because we're addressing electrical stimulation with this device.
Okay.
Perfect. Go ahead, lift up that cover. Perfect. So we got a bunch of knobs. I know it's like looking confusing at first.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and show you that. Go ahead and dial these all the way down. Perfect. So from left to right, I'll show you this is contractions, and it's measured in seconds. Pretty much there's 1 second, 7 seconds, 20 seconds, etc., etc. Relaxation time is going to be this knob, 1 second, 9 seconds, 27 seconds, etc., etc. These correlate together is what we call an on-off ratio. Typically, one on-off ratios we're seeing in the clinic during rehabilitation purposes, like in your case, is a 1-to-1 ratio, where it would technically be like 1 second on, 1 second off. A 1-to-3 ratio that we're going to go ahead and do today, we're going to be like 1 second on, 3 seconds off. Obviously, there's no knob for 3 seconds, so it'd be just like that, how you did that, with dialing it just a little bit past 1. And then the very most big on-off ratio is going to be a 1 to 5, like 1 second on, 5 seconds off, and just like that, how you dialed it up just even a little bit past more. What that does for that on to off ratio is, all right, so with the on off time, how I just described it with that 1 to 1, 1 to 3, 1 to 5, with the on time is how long is an electrical stimulus being sent to your body to go ahead and produce a contraction on your muscle. On that off time is your rest time. Obviously, you've had some athletic experience, and it's the reason why you're kind of in here. You know, when you go to the gym, you know, when you go to the gym and then you do like a set,
Yeah.
and then you go ahead and rest for like 2 or 3 minutes at a time. It's kind of like that in a bigger sense, but in a smaller sense with this, it's, hey, here's 1 set, and we're going to go ahead and rest, let the muscles go ahead, relax, let them recuperate, get all their ions, whatever it is going on in the cells, goes ahead and relax, and allows you to do another rep with this contraction once it turns on the stimulus again for that on time. So on time, off time. Now we go ahead and see this knob for frequency. And before we get to that, do you have any questions about the on-off time?
I think I understand it. Thank you.
Perfect. So now we're on the frequency. You can go ahead and flick this one left and right. Obviously, there's 3 settings, 5, 30, and 100. Best way to understand that is the bigger the number, the bigger the muscle group is that we are targeting. So 5 is going to be very, very small muscle groups, and I even have it listed on that paper right there. Pretty much going to be small muscles, like something in your, maybe your hands going on. And then we have like 30. It's going to be like medium muscle sizes, like let's say your forearms for extensors, flexors, biceps, calves. And then 100, which we're going to be addressing today, that's going to be like your bigger muscles, like let's say your quads, maybe your latissimus dorsi on your back muscles, and all that stuff. That's going to be at 100. Basically, frequency is dependent on muscle size. And then this very last knob right here, ramps. This is going to be pretty much like a gradual onset of the stimulus. So you can go ahead and flick that similarly to frequency. Perfectly. So right there with the ramp 1 setting, it's pretty much going to be a quick delivery of all the stimulus at once. So it's going to be just right away. Sends all the stimulus right away. Go ahead and flick that to 3. Once it goes to 3, it's going to take about 3 seconds for a gradual buildup for the entire stimulus to go ahead and be sent. So it's a slow buildup where you can go ahead and start feeling it, and then it will be fully contracted. So this gives you time to prepare in case maybe it's too intense or too much with the ramp 1. So it helps you with building up to that. And just in case it is very, very, you need a very slow buildup to be able to control that, you'll go ahead and be at ramp number 5, which is a 5-second gradual buildup until max stimulus. So typically when here we're going to go ahead and just address you at ramp 3, and then we can go ahead and see where you are comfortably with ramps, if you can tolerate that buildup, if you can go ahead go down, or maybe it's too much, we can go ahead and go up with ramp number 5.
Okay.
Perfect. So that pretty much addresses it. I think the big thing that I did forget to mention to you was the purpose of this whole device, obviously, which is part of the treatment right here of the goals. The big one is muscle strengthening, muscle re-education, anything that you might have like muscle guarding, muscle spasms where you just don't want to do a full contraction. This can go ahead and reduce it. And then also if you have any like swellings from edemas, this can help assist with reducing those swellings because you'll be moving the muscles. So those are the goals of this whole device and what we're going to be doing it with.
All right.
Any more questions?
No, thank you.
Sounds
I
good.
want to put it on me and see how it feels.
Yeah, and I think that's where you'll go ahead and get the most understanding of it. So go ahead and plug that battery in. You'll want to, hold on, before you plug that in, go ahead and take the battery out. You'll want to see in there, there's a negative side and a plus side. On the edge of the battery, you'll go ahead and match that. So negative side there.
You're so right. Wait.
There you go.
No, those are the right settings for me.
For what we're addressing today, let's go ahead and adjust this to be about at just a little bit past 7.
Past 7?
Just a little bit. So that will be around 9 seconds. And then we'll go ahead and put this relaxation time at 27 seconds. So that's going to be a 1 to 3 ratio.
1 to 3 ratio, okay.
So that's going to be a 1 to 3 ratio. It looks like we're addressing your quadricep muscles. So we'll be at 100 for your frequency. And ramps, we can go ahead and adjust this middle of the treatment. But let's set that at 3 just to have the intensity. And then that's going to be your on-off. But before we do, well, you got to see the green light come on. Before we do, we'll go ahead and prepare the electric pads and then all the wires going into it. And then also where we're going to place it. So here's an alcohol prep pad, and we'll go ahead and prepare the treatment area. So you can go ahead and sit down right there. I'm telling you, dude, as soon as that was like happy birthday came on, I was completely like dumbfounded. I was like, what's going on? See, I'm perfect. Just like that with the alcohol prep pad, you're already doing it. What you need to do, we're just cleaning the whole area. So what I typically like to do is I'll go ahead and take it out the baggie, and then I'll go ahead and place the wires to the edges of the connectors right away.
Does it matter how many of these I use?
Yes. So it's dependent on how many muscle bellies we are targeting. You could use 2 or 4, but we never want to go odd numbers. So I always connect 2, no matter what, and then you can step up to 4. In this situation with your quads, there's going to be 4 muscles that we're working with. We got your vastus lateralis on this side. We got the rectus femoris, and then the vastus medialis. Those are the muscles we're targeting. So we got 3, but we're going to place an extra 2 on the vastus lateralis because they are quite larger. I don't even know what you said, honestly.
You don't have to know.
I'm going to repeat the video.
Okay.
Perfect. So that's all plugged in. Perfect. So you'll go ahead and place the ends of the wires into that knob right there. Perfect. And then before we turn it on, we want to go ahead and place the plaids on your muscles. So I'm going to go ahead and palpate your muscles if that's okay with you, so I can find the places we want to place this on. So here is your tibia, no, not your tibialis. There you go, tibial tract. So then it's going to be split where your, are you able to do a full flexion knee extension? I know it's a little bit painful, but just to help So here's your vastus lateralis, both in these locations right here. It's divided by the iliotibial tract. Rectus femoris is going to be at the edge over here, and then vastus medialis right there. So we're going to place it here, one pad here, one pad there, and then two pads right here and here. And that's pretty much placing it right on the muscle bellies of the quadriceps. That's important that we place it on the muscle bellies so we can go ahead and force those contractions, sending electrical stimulation so we can go ahead and promote that muscle strengthening. Let's go ahead with sending it one a little bit more down. Go ahead, pull it back and just put it right there. So right there, it's going to be on the vastus lateralis. I think you were right actually the first time. It's a little bit too posterior.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was up there. Okay. So those are right on your muscle belly, so we can go ahead and send electrical stimuluses to the quadriceps.
Okay.
And then...
Can I turn it on?
Yeah. So you'll actually have to turn on both knobs.
Okay.
So here, that click, and then that click. You see how it has orange lights?
Uh-huh.
That means it's going to start sending electrical stimulations.
Okay.
Perfect. So with those electrical stimulations, you're probably not feeling too much right now,
no,
especially because it's just the intensity is too low.
Yeah.
This is, again, patient dependent. You're going to have to find that feeling. So go ahead and lift up this little cover. And we just want to make sure that the settings are still correct.
So 9 on, 47 off.
Yep, your 1 to 3 ratio right there. And then your frequency at 100 to address the quadricep muscles. Yep, you're at 100. Ramp is at 3 seconds for right now. Perfect. So it's going to be for yours. So now you can go ahead and adjust that intensity to how you like.
Okay.
So you feel a tingling sensation, contractions. Right now it's off. And then once you see if you feel that contraction tingling, go ahead and extend that leg out like you're trying to kick a ball.
Okay.
We're going to do that for 6 reps today. So obviously right now it's going to take a little bit because that's on its off time. That's pretty much letting you rest, recover, go ahead and relax, and catch your breath to go ahead and be ready. Still not feeling anything?
I feel tingling.
We'll probably want to turn that up until we feel muscle contractions going on. And the lights just came off, so we'll wait for the next one. Once you feel those tingling sensations and feeling also like a muscle twitching, like fibers are contracting, we'll go ahead and do that kick, that forcible kick. Because it's both this machine and also your mind muscle connection to engage those muscles.
Okay.
Tingling?
Yeah.
Perfect. So you'll want to hold it. Okay. Perfect. So while that light is on is when you want to keep holding it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll wait until the light and the whole tingling duration is still going. And then once the tingling sensation stops, go ahead and relax.
Okay.
So once we get that, we'll do ahead and count that as a full rep. So right now, we're still at 0 reps. It's okay. It's just part of patient education. It's just patient education. Don't worry. Get the hang of it. Even I made the mistakes of it too, so okay. How's that intensity for you?
Doable.
Doable?
Yeah.
Perfect. And obviously, if you would like to turn it up or turn it down, it's up to you. It's all patient comfort. So perfect. What I saw there was you started contracting it and doing that kicking motion when the light came off or came on, and then relax right away once it was off. Perfect.
So 6 reps.
6 reps. So it's like our first rep. Yeah.
Okay.
But the main thing is not really pay attention to the light. More so pay attention to that muscle, that feeling sent by the machine of electrical stimulation. That's just a nice indication. Perfect. There we go. Hold that, hold that, hold that. Perfect. See, so that's your second rep. And obviously I saw you were mainly paying attention to the electrical stimulation. So that's perfect. So you're getting hang of it quick now.
Sure.
Yep. So again, that's addressing your goals of any muscle strengthening, muscle re-education, reduction of any muscle guarding, muscle spasms by chance that you might have, and then edemas of any swelling, because this is promoting muscle pumping.
Okay.
So yeah, and then it may also address pain reduction through gate control theory and endogenous opiate release. Pretty much like if we have pain going on right now, these electrical stimulations are strong enough to go ahead and say like, hey, it's stronger for you to feel these electrical stimulations rather than pain. And with endogenous opiate release, it's pretty much releasing natural opiates within the body to reduce that pain at the same time.
Alright.
Yeah, but that NMES is good. It's a functional activity because you are doing something like that. There's other things like IFC 10s that you've probably seen. Those are more stationary.
I've never heard of those.
Really?
No.
Oh wow! So we'll go ahead and teach you that possibly if this isn't working out for you in the next therapy session. But yeah, some things with electrical stimulation can be stationary, but this is functional since you are moving around with that muscle.
Gotcha.
So that's your third rep right there. Our fourth rep. We'll go third rep, you know, it doesn't hurt to do too much as long as you don't fatigue too much. That's the one thing too about the off signs. We don't want you to fatigue too much and what you get to rest and relax. There you go. And then after a while, this may not be like on the same treatment. It could be, but maybe in future treatments down the road, maybe the same intensity that you're at isn't going to be producing any contractions going on. But
You have to turn it up.
you could turn it up if needed, because you'll eventually get used to that, and then you'll have to turn it up. It's just your body getting used to all the electrical stimulations being sent, but that's completely okay. So really, it's all patient dependent. That's all you need. So right now on your fifth one, and then we'll do one more. And go ahead and document this stuff. And because I did step away, let me go ahead and get you a call bell.
Thank you.
No problem. And that's your sixth and final rep right there. Perfect. So now you can go ahead and turn that device off just by clicking it off. So you heard that audible click. There's that green light away. Perfect. That green light is away. So before you ever take the pads off, you just want to make sure that's always off. And honestly, it's easy to tell with that being off. Obviously, we did 6, maybe 7 reps of it. But typically at home, we want you to do about 10 to 15 reps. That's going to be about like 10 to 15 minutes on treatment time. But really, the goal of NMES is more creating repetition rather than time.
Gotcha.
So perfect. You did your 6 reps, but once you get home, go ahead and just follow up with doing your 10 to 15 reps based on the plan that we got going for you, and we'll be good to go. So let me show you how you can go ahead and store those electro pads. We'll go ahead and just peel them off, and then you just place this back onto these pads right there. I hope this was recording.
Oh my god.
That's my biggest fear. It doesn't record, dude. There you go. And where do you want to place these again?
The fridge.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and put this in your box for you to keep. And then with this one, just for disassembly to show you, pull that out. Pull that. Close the lid. And you'll also want to remove that battery just for longevity purposes. Perfect. Luckily the case, you can go ahead and place some battery in here in case you want to have a spare there as well.
You don't provide a spare battery?
Fortunately, we had to cut clinic costs, you know, kind of
I'm gonna be writing that on your Yelp.
Oh, it's okay. Don't you run Mr. Pickles? I'll write a Yelp review too.
HIPAA?
What do you mean? It's not healthcare.
HIPAA?
That's not healthcare.
Patient information?
Right. Running Mr. Pickles isn't really a
I have
healthcare
no
thing.
idea what you're talking about.
All
sir,
right.
Actually, but yeah, thanks anyway for your help. Appreciate you.
I'll make sure it's a 1-star review. Got a second one for you.
Thanks, sir.
No problem. And then just remember to keep this with you.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the one thing we do not have is a direct guide on how to place NMES pads on your skin, but the big emphasis is where the muscle bellies are going to be. I'll go ahead and include that printout for you in an email, since we do have your email file about NMES pad placement. But once again, the big one, muscle bellies. Any questions for today?
No, thank you.
Perfect. So you'll be good to go. I'll go ahead and check you out over at the sign out desk, and we'll be good to go. Have a nice day, meow.
You too, sir. Thank you. I didn't know how to check out of a clinic, so thank you.
Shut up.